This is just going to be a quick tour of the prison I built because I'm going to demolish it now because, you know, there's only so many times you can use the prison. So it's kind of plain on the outside. It's because it's a small plot. I couldn't really get a big enough space to be able to do the walls, so they kind of look really bad, but you get the impression of what it's supposed to be. So we'll come in through the gates. I'd like a bigger space, you know, so you could park cars and the bus for when they transport the prisoners, but what can you do? This is the waiting area for either when you're waiting to be booked in or if you're here to visit a friend or a family member. This is actually a till, but we're just pretending it's a check-in. I don't know if they call it check-in desk, processing desk probably sounds better. This is the warden's office, the only kind of relatively nice room in the whole building. He's kind of old-fashioned, so he likes to do things on paper rather than computer. That's why he has such an old computer. He prefers his files over here. He has all his awards. These windows are actually Japanese windows, but I'm just pretending they're windows with bars on, because that's the nearest I've got. Here, so over here we have the hospital. I forgot what it was called then. Here's a little change area. It's actually from the boutique, so it's a bit fancy for a prison, but it's the nearest I could come to for a cubicle to get undressed in. This examination table is actually for giving facials or mud masks, so we're just pretending, because it looks like one of those things in a hospital you can adjust, so we'll just pretend. Here's the these is actually stuff from the hairdressing salon Toad, but I'm pretending they're medication. So yeah, a lot of pretending in here. I think these beds do look like quite like hospital beds, so I went with these in here. It's very plain. All these buildings are really plain. If you come through here, there's lots of these doors, because I figured the prison guards who buzz them through, they have to see who's on the other side, so in an ideal world, they wouldn't be rusty, but those are the only ones we have. So you have to do what you have to do. This is the visitors' room. So when they come, the visitors come to see their friends and family in prison. It's very basic, just a chair and a table, vending machines, the desk for the security guard, so he can check the paperwork and make sure nobody's, you know, smuggling anything into the prison. This is the communal bathroom area. So they have the 3 sinks, the 3 cubicles, and ideally I would have preferred just shower heads on the wall for like just an open shower, but we don't have anything like that. So I just picked the grimiest looking showers because I figured they're probably not that fancy in prison. Out back we have a little football area, little water fountains, little weightlifting area. They always seem to have weightlifting areas in prison. And some little seats, because they always seem to have these kind of seats when you see them in prison too, on like documentaries or films, which is what both my knowledge is based on. So up the stairwell onto the first floor. This is like the classroom area, so where they get their education. It's part of, you know, reforming prisoners here. So that's just like computers and a little board. All the wallpaper is this kind of bricks that have like damp at the bottom, because I figured it's probably fitting for a prison. It's probably not that well maintained. Here's the barber shop, because I figured you know, you can't pop out to get a haircut, so they have to get it done in the prison, and I don't really find much opportunity to use these, so I figured why not. This room here is actually the phone room, so where they want to come and ring a family member or their lawyer, they can just come in here, queue up, and I would have preferred it was like payphones, because you have to use those cards, but you have to do what you have to do. This is the commission room, so if their family puts money on their books, they can buy extra food or extra toiletries, sometimes extra shoes and clothes, because they give you just the bare necessities, obviously, in prison, so anything else you have to pay for yourself. All the cells are basically the same. They have the bunk beds, a little wardrobe area, a desk, a sink, and a toilet, all very close quarters. The only real difference is some have different posters on. Some of the desks have magazines. Some of them have books or stereo, depending on, you know, each separate prisoner. So they're all basically the same here. So it's just 12 people can sleep in this floor. And if we go upstairs, we've got the woodwork room, which is just, very basic, but learning a skill while they're in prison. Here's the laundry, because they have to do their own laundry. In some prisons, actually, you have to take in laundry, and they do it for businesses as part of a working thing. So ideally I would have liked it to be bigger, but I'm limited with space on this plot. So if we come down this corridor, this is the, I would say, CCTV room, where the guard buzzes people through, so he monitors everything that goes on through there. And again, these are just the cells, which are basically the same as downstairs, just with different posters and different things on the desk. So if we go upstairs again, we have the library here, because, most prisons have a library. This is the kitchen, very industrial, food prep. And then this is the service area, so where they come and collect their food. And here is the dining room, very basic again, very strict, but it is what it is. This is the kind of rec room, I don't even know what you would call it in prison, but they have a TV and some beat up old couches, a ping pong table, and a foosball table, and that's basically it. The outside, these are supposed to be kind of the walkways where the guards monitor and walk around to make sure nobody's trying to escape. That's kind of the best I could do with the situation on a small plot. So if I build a prison again, I would definitely do it on a bigger plot, because it was too limiting on this one.